Peace and blessings, everyone. This is your girl, Queen of Pentacles 1111, and I am back with yet another pick a card reading. This message is coming to you straight from the spirit world to encourage you when times get tough. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. The reading we are doing today is a message directly from Spirit, as you well know, and it's just a little bit of encouragement for when times get rough. I mean, we're all going through rough times, I think, in some way, shape, or form. 2020 seems to be spilling over into 2021, and some people are probably at their wits' ends. So if you need a little bit of encouragement, here are some messages from the spirit world to you. Now, for this reading, we are well protected. We have our black tourmaline, which is good for protection. We've got our sage. We've got even pyrite is good for good luck. We have the Eye of Horus watching us. So we are good. As always, I want my watchers to feel like this is a safe space. So I am sending protective, positive energy to you out there and for myself. All right, let's get started with the reading. We'll start with the tarot cards first. Let's see what we've got, okay? All right, the first one we've got is the Death card. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant, people say it differently, doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, let's move on. So, first of all, what I see here is, okay, first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. That the Death card doesn't usually mean death in a reading, but because we're talking about falling on hard times and maybe people who are just struggling right now, death could actually be relevant to this reading. So for those of you out there who are struggling with someone who is close to you who has just passed away, first and foremost, I would like to send my condolences, and hopefully the messages in this reading will bring you some kind of comfort in your difficult time. The cards that I put on top of the pile were cards of encouragement. Those of you who chose this pile, you chose the Sun. The Sun card is an extremely favorable card. Just think of what it means. You know, everything is illuminated, everything is warm. When the sun comes out, that's when life starts to bloom. We have flowers and trees. It just makes you think of life and being warm and being happy and jovial. Where I am, the winters are extremely brutal, and when summertime comes, you know, everybody is just friendlier. They talk more. You see a lot of people going for walks on the street. There's just something about the sun. So let's get further into the reading now. All right, so we see here the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like maybe some of you recently have been feeling as if either you've had a string of bad luck, or maybe things are not going the way you want. It's like maybe the same cycles over and over again, like negative cycles. You feel like you're, you know, pushing for one thing and trying to make a situation work for yourself, and it's like you just keep getting bad outcomes from it. You know, like those types of cycles where you feel like even though you try one thing, you come back to the same result. And that could be very frustrating. But what the cards are telling you is that not everything lasts forever. You know, things will change. And this is where the other meaning of the Death card would come in perfectly for this group. Nothing lasts forever, good and bad. And you know, the hard times that you may have gone through in the recent past, or you may be going through right now, will come to an end. Even if you are grieving a loved one, we all know the pain never goes away. It's just maybe you find different ways of coping with it. And so things won't be as hectic and unbearable for you. Eventually, you will just learn how to pick up the pieces and get through day by day. And it's something that you need to do, take baby steps at. It's not something that you need to force yourself to feel like you should be in a certain space, in a certain, place in your life. If you're grieving somebody who passed on, you don't have to look at anybody else to see how they grieved, and you should be at a certain point, in your grief. Or don't let other people tell you that either and say, well, it's been this long now. You should be over that now. You should be in a better place. Don't listen to that. That is none of their business. Everybody grieves differently. And that is your prerogative. So you have to do things the way you want. But this message is really telling you that it will not last forever. This pain will not last forever. And for those of you who are not grieving someone passing, it could just mean the string of bad luck, or it seems like the, unfortunate cycles that you seem to be, like it feels like you keep revisiting over and over again. Those things too shall come to an end. Now, the way Spirit is encouraging you to get through it is through prayer. Not everybody watching this video will be religious. Some of you are, so it applies to you. For those of you who are not religious and who are more maybe on the spiritual side of things, I would think maybe the prayer could be the same thing as meditation, in a sense, kind of going within and being still. And instead of speaking to God, maybe speaking to the universe, or to your loved ones who have passed on, your ancestors, your spirit guides. Even if you are experiencing someone who passed away, you could be speaking to them for comfort. And sometimes when things are very, very still, you do get some kind of comfort. You can feel some kind of comfort. You can feel your loved ones around you because they want to comfort you. So have no fear. Don't lose heart. Hard times, yes, they are a fact of life, but this reading is letting you know that soon those times will be over and life will be bright again. You'll be able to appreciate the sun again, because when these things happen, when you feel like you're having a hard time in life, it could be the most sunny, beautiful, glorious day, but you won't realize it because you are going through your own thing, and rightfully so. But soon you will be able to see and appreciate the sun again. Okay, I mean that both figuratively and literally. Okay, so let's get into the oracle cards here. The first card says, oh wow, this is a beautiful way to start the reading. Love is your energy. That's beautiful. So if you've been feeling like you can't go on, that life is just becoming kind of like futile, it's like the same rat race over and over again, you have nothing to be happy about, everything in your life seems to be going poorly, or even if it's not that deep, it could just be like, you're just having a string of bad luck, or you just can't seem to make ends meet, or you're in a relationship with somebody who, you just don't seem to get along with. It's just not working no matter how much you try. First and foremost, this here says love is your energy. Like I always say, self-love should be the first love. So whether you're grieving a loved one who has passed away, or you're grieving a different type of situation in your life, you should know that you deserve love. You need to take care of yourself, preserve your mental health, preserve your emotional health, preserve your spiritual health, your religious health, whatever it is, your health in general. Make sure that you are okay first. Put everybody to the side, because when you're at this point in life where you're feeling like things are just going around and around in circles and nothing is getting better, that could be detrimental to your morale. And we don't want that. So drown out all the outside noise, get rid of all the naysayers, or even the people, even the people who mean well, and they have a lot of advice for you, and they come and tell you, come on, get up, get out of the house, you've been inside long enough, let's go, even those people who have the best intentions out there can actually be more harmful than anything. So sometimes, we can politely decline and say, no, it's okay, I need to be by myself for a bit, or even like go, if being by yourself is causing you more issues, then you should go with your bestie or with someone you can trust who understands your situation. Go and get your nails done, go to the salon, go and work out, whatever it is that grounds you, that brings you some kind of peace of mind, and can help ease the pain a little bit. Like I said, self-love is the first love, okay? That's the only way you're going to get better, is by being gentle with yourself and patient with yourself. And the only way you do that is by loving yourself. Okay, the next card says, oh, look at this. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, like I always say in my readings when this type of thing happens, this is a good validation for me that I am reading the messages properly and I am conveying the messages to you properly. But it also is amazing to see, because when I shuffle these cards, I don't look at them before. Like, you and I see them at the same time, and I only take the cards out of my deck that jump out or that slip out or fall out, and I only take them one by one. If two cards fall out at the same time, I put them back in the pile and I continue to shuffle. I meditate over my cards and I sage them before I do a reading. That's why I don't usually put my whole I don't usually shuffle on camera because of that, because it's actually like somewhat of a ritual. But this card says, soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Like I just said a minute ago, if you have a bestie that or a confidant, someone who knows your situation, even a close family member that you can, you're on a level with, you can vibe with, and you all can grieve together, or just go out and vent, or go and do something that will bring you a little bit of peace. Even if it's a short-lived amount of peace, it doesn't matter, just to break the monotony and to give you a little bit of sanity. You don't have to do things alone. First and foremost, you are never alone, because you have your guides, you have your ancestors, you have all of those loved ones around you. But on this earthly plane, yes, it can feel very lonely. So this is the time where you have to call in. Don't be ashamed. I know some people like to grieve on their own. Grieve any situation on their own. And I understand that as well, but this is not the time to do that. These cards are letting you know that you have to love yourself enough to reach out to somebody that you trust and be able to say, okay, you know what, hey, I need some company. Do you mind if we go for a walk together? Can we go work out together? Can I just vent to you for a second? And even if you really feel like you don't have anybody like that, at the end of the day, you always have yourself. Pick up a journal, start writing, write out your thoughts. Even talking to yourself is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to vent and get your feelings out without worrying about, how people are going to judge you or how they're going to perceive you. It's a good way of getting your feelings out. So I think it's something that you should definitely do. Let's go to the next oracle card. Guys, I'm going to move this sage because it's getting a little bit strong. Let me just, for extra protection for my soul tribe. Okay. Already, we're off to a good start, but I'm starting to feel like, to be honest, this message is really for someone who has lost a loved one recently and they're going through a rough time. It can also be, we'll see, we'll get more clarification with the oracle card, but we can also be talking about a breakup, someone who lost, their counterpart in a breakup and you're really going through it. Yeah, I can feel that as well. So let's see what we have in the rest of the oracle cards. Okay, we have, oh, I was going to say this. Okay, empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Okay, so I was actually going to say that earlier. Some of this group can actually be empaths, I believe. Either way, I feel like this group number one, are very sensitive, emotionally speaking, but also in a spiritual way. I feel like you are all very sensitive, and emotions really get to you. They really hit you hard and deep. And this is probably a time where you really need to kind of ground yourself, go within. Either you stay by yourself or you go with, like, stay by yourself. The reason I'm saying that is because I was going to say maybe you could stay by yourself and withdraw and decline any invitations from your friends, to go out. But then because I was thinking if you're empathic, that would probably work with you, because if you're having, those types of negative feelings, you don't necessarily want to absorb anybody else's emotions. So that's why I was encouraging this group to go out with a friend. But if you are empathic, some of you may feel like, in these hard times, you really just want to keep to yourself, and being around other people wouldn't be the healthiest thing for your mental health or your emotional health. So it can be both, but they are encouraging you, though, if you do decide to head out with a group of friends or people that you trust, you have to understand, as an empath, you have to be able to separate yourself from other people, and you can observe what's going on around you. You can keep company with different people, but you do not absorb their energy. You have to be able to lock yourself off from that, especially if you're going through a hard time of your own already. You don't need to absorb additional, energy. And then I'm thinking, like, sometimes if you go out with a friend and you want to just vent, sometimes they can give their own opinions as well, and their own thoughts and their advice, whether you ask for it or not. And that's a whole other layer of guilt or grief or negativity that they're putting on you. So you have to know yourself. Most people, not most people, a lot of people who are empathic know that they are empaths because of that feeling that they get when they're around other people. So if you are an empath, probably the best thing to do in this time is to be very discerning and very wise with who you choose to keep your energy with. If not, it's maybe best that you kind of keep to yourself for a bit to gather yourself and love yourself and just get better bit by bit in your own way. All right, let's go to the next one. Love is always the final and most complete cure to our inner demons. So it's the most complete cure. Like we were saying when we saw this card over here, love, come on now, love is everything. As much as we want to deny it, it sounds, sappy, it sounds kind of, fairy tale-ish, but at the end of the day, it is about love. And with this group, like I said, self-love should be your first love. You need to love yourself enough to understand that if you are grieving the loss of someone, or if you are grieving the loss of a relationship or a friendship, or if things in life are just not going very well, you still have yourself. If you feel you have nothing at all, you still have yourself, and you deserve to be loved. Even if you look at yourself as a separate entity for a second and look at that person, imagine what you would do if you knew somebody who was going through hard times, who had just experienced a loss, or maybe they were just not having a good time in life right now. What would you do? Would you just say, oh, sorry, sucks to be you, just get over it? No. You would go to them. You would comfort them. You would say, how can I help you? Is there any way I can make you feel better? You would listen to them. You would be patient with them. You would love them. And that's exactly what you should be doing for yourself. So self-love is the first love, and then comes everybody else. The next oracle card is, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So like I told you at the beginning, like I said at the beginning, I don't want to cover this card. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, faith, your faith, like I said here, I said maybe you can pray, to make you feel better to your God. If you're not religious and you're more spiritual, then you can pray to the universe or to your ancestors, to the creator, whoever it is you resonate with, who you actually have faith in, whatever energy, whatever God, whatever entity you have faith in, to keep you safe and to make you feel fearless, then that's who you need to get in touch with at this point in time. The power of prayer is kind of, what do you call it, underestimated sometimes. It definitely works. And I am not a religious person myself, but I do know that the power of prayer is a thing, is an actual thing. And so is the power of the mind. You can also make yourself accomplish a lot just by willing it to happen, you know? So you can will yourself to feel better, to feel more complete, to even look at your life from a different perspective sometimes. That helps you, that can help pull you out of a slump. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, calling on and relying on your dependables. So it's like you're dependable, your God is dependable, the universe is dependable, your ancestors, your spirit guides, those aspects of your life you can always depend on and they are reliable. So that is who you need to go to right now, that source. All right. And with that, when you go to that source, it will definitely make you feel more confident. It makes you feel freeless, like it says here, freeless. Helps you feel fearless, sorry. See, because you have more energy and intention brought to your faith, and it makes you become fearless and free. So that's the kind of life at the end of the day you want to live, right? Sometimes when you're in a situation where it's like you feel like your life is not getting any better, it's just going around and around in the same circle, it's because you're too scared to try something new. And that's, you know, a lot of people's story, that fear is a real thing, and it holds us back, it hinders us, but it can also encourage us and motivate us to do something that scares the poop out of us. You know what I mean? Because that's when we get amazing results. That's when miracles happen. That's when greatness is born. So don't let that fear stop you from bettering yourself. This card says, possess self-confidence. Beautiful. Like I was just saying, trying to do something outside of the box that you're not used to doing, that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, that, you know, that you're scared of doing. Now is the time to kind of do it. If you're feeling stuck, if you feel like life is not really being too kind to you right now, and you're not really getting anywhere in life and you're not getting the results that you're looking for in your life, you maybe feel like you're watching everybody else accomplishing all these things and just passing you by, and you're stuck in this negative cycle, just going on and on and on again. Well, now is the time to try something different, and different usually equates fear. That's like, it's just crazy that, but that's how we work. It's like sometimes when things are different to us, we just automatically get scared of it, you know, when really we shouldn't be. We should actually educate ourselves on the topic or on the subject, and maybe just meet it head first, like just go and confront the fear, and then maybe we'll see that we shouldn't have been scared the whole time, you know. So far, I don't know if this reading is kind of muddled, but it's because I'm getting more than one message. I'm getting the message of part of the group has loved ones who have passed on, and they're trying to deal with the grief. And then you have another group whose life is kind of come to a standstill, and it feels like they're just having bad break after bad break after bad break. So for those of you whose life is just going on and you feel like you just cannot catch a break, try something new. Be fearless. Love yourself enough to switch it up. You need to turn over a new leaf. See, when something dies, and I'm not talking about a person, I'm talking about with a situation, when the situation, a negative situation ends, yes, it's hurtful, yes, it's traumatizing, but if we look at it from a different perspective, we see that we should be grateful a lot of the time, because now comes a new, beautiful cycle, a new, beautiful reality. So if you're grieving the loss of a relationship, yes, that hurts. Yes, it could be a blow to the ego at sometimes. Yes, you have a lot of memories with this person, but with that, with that dying off of a relationship means that there's a clearing going on, and you're being given the chance to open up to maybe better things coming in your future. Okay, look at this card here. Tell me this is not like, it is safe to ask for help. says here, when you fear you can't do it all by yourself, maybe it's a sign you don't have to. When you stop trying to do it all by yourself, help appears. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. These cards are the same cards, right? This is when you need to call on somebody who knows your heart, who knows your situation, who has your back. Call on them to help you, to talk to, for a shoulder to lean on, to help you get away from. Sometimes you need a change of scenery. And actually, that's what I got with this card here, the empath card, was that maybe you need a change of scenery. This person looks like they're going out into some kind of unknown situation. Maybe that's what you need. Things to kind of shake up a little bit, you know, and breathe new energy into your life. And the last card we have here is, if you can dream it, you can do it. There you go. So if you have something that you want to achieve in life, if there's always been something, maybe you were holding yourself back the whole time from going out for this thing that's causing you so much fear and anxiety because you didn't have the confidence, you didn't go for it. I mean, that's a lot of, like, everybody's story, right? At some point, there's something that we wanted in our lives but we were too scared to go for. Now's the time to do it. If you can imagine that you confront the thing that you're most afraid of doing, if you can imagine that you do that and you are successful, you're victorious, you come out of it alive and smiling, if you can conceive of that, then maybe you can do it, right? So never fear, have faith in yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, be patient with yourself, don't compare yourself to others. Death and the death of a relationship, the death of any kind of situation in your life, meaning the endings are always the ones that cause us the most pain. But we also have to remember that those are the things that make way for new beginnings. So I pray that group 1, like I said at the top of the reading, you can appreciate the sun very soon. In the readings, that's what it says. I mean, this is only for a time, and this too shall pass, they say. So I pray that you find peace, you find comfort, and you find that confidant that you can get a little bit of release with. And I wish you all the best for the year 2021. Take care of yourself. Keep the faith. Keep the hope. Never give up on yourself. You are protected. So take care. Thank you for tuning in with me. Until the next one. Bye, guys. Hello, group 2. Thank you for tuning in with me again. So this reading, as you all know, is going to be a message from the spirit world for you to be encouraged and uplifted and to feel empowered in your daily life when times get a little bit difficult. All right, so you chose this card, the World card. And I'm not going to go into the meaning just yet. I want to see the rest of the cards and see how it pertains to the rest of the reading, because the World has a traditional meaning and it can have another meaning related to the cards, and then it can also have my own meaning, which is what is being channeled to me. All right, before I get started, I did have some sage for group 1, but the flame started to get a little out of hand and got a little smoky for me. So I have a white candle up at the top, which is out of the frame right now, which you can't see. But I do have my black tourmaline here for protection. Same thing with my sage. So my people, my soul tribe, whoever tunes into this message today will feel protected, especially when you're going through a particularly tough time. All right, let's get down to it. I think I said that already. Okay, the first card is the 9 of Swords. Okay. The second card is the Devil. Oh boy. Okay. And the third card is, yes. The 6 of Cups in reverse, yes. Okay, so I'm already getting what's going on here. All right. Could be 2 things. It could be, all right, how am I going to start this? Okay, so it seems that with these two cards here, you've been having a particularly tough time emotionally speaking, um, and mentally speaking, I will say. Like you're kind of in turmoil, inner turmoil, in the sense that maybe people can see you every day going about your business and they feel like you're all right, but really something is not quite sitting too well with you. Your heart is broken. You're upset about the way you've been treated, and you're losing sleep over it, and you are unhappy, and you feel like maybe you have to put up a facade lately, because you don't want people to know exactly what's going on with you. But in the times when you're alone at nighttime, you are feeling torn, and you're feeling anguish, and you are in mental pain, and you are also emotionally in pain. Now, that is the general message for this reading. However, the causes for the pain are different. All right, what we get here from the Six of Cups, for me, could be two things. Either whatever's causing you this pain, this mental and emotional pain, it's kind of messing with your mental and emotional health, is something that has happened to you in your past when you were a child. I would say it comes to you from childhood, where somebody took your innocence for granted, and they took advantage of you. We'll leave it at that. And the second part of that is that not necessarily something that happened in your childhood. It could be something that happened to you in adulthood, or maybe adolescence, I would say, but most likely adulthood, where because you were naive with certain things, or because you just have a childlike nature, where maybe you see the best in people. Someone in particular took advantage of your kindness, took an advantage of your naivete, and just took you for granted and hurt your feelings. And when you were being open and honest with this person, they ended up, just steamrolling you and using you to their advantage, and putting up a facade that they were there to, because they cared for you, and really they ended up hurting you on so many different levels. We see here that with this Devil card, for me, that talks about like a lack of freedom, being bound to someone or something. In this reading, I feel like you are bound to the memories of whatever it was that hurt you. You can't seem to move on from what happened because it was so painful and so traumatic for you. And it causes you things like insomnia, anxiety, maybe depression, and your heart is just hurt. And it seems like it's a situation where you have to deal with it, or you feel like, or you have been dealing with it alone. But what the cards are telling you is that you can have happiness. You can have the world, as the card says there. You just need to go within. You need to understand that the fact that somebody took advantage of you, or treated you poorly, took advantage of your good nature, your good heart, your naive disposition. And there's nothing wrong with being naive, right? You don't always have to be worldly. It's okay to be naive. It's okay to be innocent. All those wonderful things. It just depends on who's around you and what they're going to do with that, with those aspects of your personality. And unfortunately, you seem to have run into someone that has taken advantage of that aspect of you, that pure nature that you have. So yeah, from the Devil card here, I just see that the person is not necessarily the devil. It's mostly the situation that happened, and the memories of it, and the trauma that comes along with it, that you are bound to, and you're trying to find a way to kind of cut from that. But it doesn't seem to be budging. So let's see what the oracle cards, because I see, like, I feel like all of this anguish is happening, but then when I look at the world card, I see what can be. And the number on the world card is 21. That reduces to a 3. And for me, the 3 represents creation. And so creation in the sense meaning something new is being born. So I feel like Spirit is trying to let you know that if you find a way, and we'll see what the oracle cards say, but nothing so far has been pinpointed on how you can deal with these issues. But everybody, it's different for everybody, right? We could say things like a counselor, we could say things like meditation, even things like working out, or going out with friends, or keeping to yourself. There's so many different ways of dealing with our traumas. You could, like, seek professional help, those types of things. There's so many different ways of dealing with it that nothing here in the card pinpoints exactly how you can better your situation or ease your pain. But this world card here, a new you being born, a new situation coming from all of this hurt, and a beautiful situation at that, where you feel whole, you feel protected, you feel like you have gotten in touch with your higher self. All of these types of things are attainable, and they are in your future. You just have to try and get over this. All right, so let's take a look at the cards. One thing that I am getting from this situation is that because maybe you feel like someone else caused you this pain and this hurt and this rejection, and now you become maybe somebody who doesn't trust other people very well, Spirit is trying to let you know that that's not true. You don't have to be mistrustful of everybody. You don't have to be leery of everybody and wonder, like, okay, are they coming? Why are they coming towards me? Do they want to hurt me? What are they? You don't have to be so guarded with people, because not everybody is that way. You don't have to go at this alone. You do have people around you who can help you, and this will pass. This absolutely will pass, and at the end of the day, you will be better for it, in the sense that you will become more wise. More wise in the sense that you will know who you are, what you've been through, and how strong you are because you've overcome those obstacles. Okay, so let's check the oracle cards before I make this reading go on too long, like I usually do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so check this card. It says, choose love over fear. Okay, so yes, whatever has happened has definitely caused a lot of trauma in your life. It has caused a lot of fear. And the fear can be debilitating. It's the kind of thing that will keep us stuck in a rut in the same place and not move because we're too scared. And, judging by the tarot cards here, it makes sense that you would be scared if you were taken advantage of or hurt pretty badly in your past. But the point is, you need to try and put into perspective what happened. Take the blame away from yourself. Do not blame yourself. You have nothing to be ashamed of. If somebody misused your heart or your innocence, that is completely on them. That is a reflection of that. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. I'm getting heated. That is a reflection of who they are, not who you are. So the card is trying to tell you here, choose love over fear. Choose yourself first, okay? Love yourself first. Love the fact that you are here for a reason, whether you know what that reason is or not. You have a purpose, you have a voice, and you deserve to be here just like everybody else. So choose love. I would say choose love of self over fear. Love yourself enough to push through this and say that my traumas, my negative experiences in my past do not define me. I define me. And I will tell you who I am. What you did to me is not going to decide for me who I am and what the rest of my life looks like. I decide that. Okay, now is the time you take a stand. Okay, the next oracle card says, oh wow. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild card. There's a door waiting there for you. There's an opportunity. You will have an opportunity. Maybe you've had opportunities to kind of pick yourself up and change your reality. but maybe you've been too afraid to do it because you've been hurt and you're feeling kind of stuck. Like I said, that debilitating pain that can just keep you stuck and stagnant and not moving, not bettering yourself, not even living life. There will be doors opening for you, more doors. Even if you miss certain opportunities because you were too afraid, that's okay. There are lots more doors there for you to open. This is your life. You'll have lots of opportunities and lots of wonderful experiences in your life. And so it's up to you to decide now, though. Are you going to let the fear and the pain and the worry and the anxiety and the hurt keep you back? Or are you going to take control of your life? Take control of your life by getting help. Take control of your life by talking to a friend, by loving yourself and deciding that you're going to try different things in your life. You're going to actually live life to its fullest. This card says rewards. So behind those doors, when you walk through those doors, there are rewards there for you. There's abundance there for you. There's confidence there for you. There's healing there for you. There's peace of mind there for you. And there's love there for you. So you have to decide to walk through those doors. And it says at the end, wild card, because it's like you decide whatever door you walk through, that is what your reality shall be. Do not let somebody else define you for you. That is the biggest mistake you could ever make, because you have such a lightness to you. And if you are in fact someone who has more of a naive or innocent disposition, then you are a rare find in this world, because everybody is so jaded, everybody is so worldly. And if you are in fact somebody who has that kind of wonderful disposition, then you are a light in this world. So please don't lose hope. Okay, the next up oracle card is this one, and it says Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. All right, so I get lots from this one card. The first thing I get from this is that maybe you have someone in your family who's a confidant who you can speak to about your situation, or you have some very good friends, maybe a close-knit circle around you of people that you trust, who you can go to around you. I also feel like it could be a feminine ancestor or spirit guide who is coming through in this message, who's saying like, I got you, we got your back, okay? I also see in this card here, there's priestess, mystic, and teacher. So what I get from that is that beauty. That's what I want you to understand, that you are a beautiful person who is worthy. I'm not going to say worthy of what, you're just worthy, okay? So that is you. But then at the end, I see teacher. When I see that, it makes me so happy, because whatever difficult situation you are going through now, after you have healed from it, through whatever means you decide, whatever suits you, you can then become a teacher to others. You can then, for example, if you've been a woman who was if you are a woman who has been in an abusive relationship, you can speak to other women who have been in that situation and counsel them, right? You can teach people, like write a self-help book. You can teach them how to not get caught up in negative situations and lose themselves, like how you felt that you were losing yourself. Or even if you've been in a situation where you've been hurt and you found peace through meditation or more spiritual means, then you can become a teacher of those things and help people who need ease of mind like you needed, or who need to heal from trauma. If you are a parent who has gone through a situation that's caused you anxiety and depression and kind of put you on the edge, and you've come out of it, teach your children and tell them your story, and let them know that you've survived something that would have knocked down a lot of people. Teach them that you were on your knees, and through the love of yourself and the help of, those watching out for you, you overcame the debilitating fear that you were feeling before. Okay, it's very powerful, as painful as these situations are, and I just feel like this group has gone through some serious situations. As painful as it was, you can really take that after you've healed, after you've taken your time to heal. After you've healed, you can really take those situations and, oh my goodness, touch the lives of so many. And there's so much power in that. So much power in that. Okay, next oracle card. Guys, I gotta try and cut this short because I know I'm gonna end up going on and on and on because it's a very powerful reading already. All right, the next oracle card says, this day is to be enjoyed like a pause at a cool stream during summer's heat. All right, so I want you to get into the, well, I guess it's not me who wants it. The cards want you, spirit world wants you to get into the habit of enjoying each day again. Enjoying the simplicity of life. Now, this card, when it's right side up, usually means like, you know, well, I don't know if the traditional meaning means this, but for me, when I see it, it means like enjoying the simpler things in life. You know, when you were younger and you used to enjoy looking at flowers or laying down on your back and looking at the clouds sailing by and seeing all the whatever shapes you can find in the clouds. And you could do that for hours and hours, and that was enjoyment to you. Well, when you finally shed a lot of what's holding you back and keeping you bound and keeping you stuck and chained and feeling like you have no way out. Once you shed all of that, you'll be able to appreciate the simpler things in life that you just kind of pass by on an everyday basis. So you need to, well, you will it will just be a process, actually, a natural process in divine timing, that you will eventually be able to appreciate the small things in life, the free things in life, those wonderful things that you couldn't pay any amount of money for because it's priceless, you know? All right, and it's coming. That time is coming for you. Okay, the next oracle card is, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Look at this. These are two totally different cards from two totally different decks. Okay, I shuffled them. I didn't look at them or pick them out of the deck. They just came out of the deck, and those are the cards I chose. I didn't even see them until now. So, talking about creating mindful moments throughout the day. Like I was just saying that you're going to eventually be able to kind of smell the roses and see how wonderful they smell. You're going to be able to feel the sun on your skin and see how great that feels. You're going to be able to just enjoy the rustling of the leaves in the trees, and it will sound like a symphony to you because now you'll be able to savor life, whereas before you were maybe just surviving. But soon you'll be thriving. So don't lose faith. Keep pushing and find a way that you can heal from your traumas or your hurts or your upsets in life. This says, be yourself. Exactly. Be yourself and share your story with others because you have a powerful story and you have a lot to share. Don't hide yourself. Like here, I feel like this makes me feel kind of like emotional, this card, because I feel like this person is going through this trauma or this hardship or this fear alone. And all they can do is put their head in their hands, you know? And that's really hurtful. That's a scary place for someone to be. So being yourself is really about not feeling like you have to do this alone. Being yourself is feeling confident enough, you know, with your situation and not feeling any shame or embarrassment and going to somebody and saying, hey, I need help. Or to your friend and say, like your sisterhood of the rose here, I need help. You know, even if it means to your spirit guides, whoever you resonate with on the spiritual realm, I need help. And believe me, the doors will start to open. But you have to reach out a little bit. That means kind of putting yourself out there and being a little bit vulnerable. But like doors are opening, it says, you know, once you take that first step, then all the doors will come flying open for you. At that point, you will just have to walk through. Okay, so this card says, I live in a friendly universe. And the back says, let life befriend you today. Every hour on the hour throughout the day, remind yourself, I live in a friendly universe. So that's the gist of what's going on here. It's like maybe you've lost, like the zest for life. Maybe you've lost that kind of love of life. But this reading is trying to tell you, even if you have to take moment by moment, just savor everything. Even if it's a meal that you're eating, look at the meal and say, oh gosh, I love the way these grapes taste. Wow, this water is refreshing. Kind of savor the small things in life moment by moment by moment, and you'll end up getting a greater appreciation for life. Even the people that you meet, small things like someone smiling at you, a stranger smiling at you on the street, or someone being polite to you when you order your food. Understand that there are nice people out there. There are friendly people out there. There are true and genuine people out there who are trying to live a good life just like you. Not everybody is out there trying to hurt you. So like it says, try and remember. This card is very good. I live in a friendly universe. So, okay, not everybody's friendly. We fully know that. But I'm saying not everybody is bad either. So if you're living in fear now of other people because you've been hurt in the past, then you'll definitely believe that the universe, most people are out to get you, or you can't trust anybody. So instead of becoming that jaded, and don't get me wrong, I am not trivializing what anybody goes through, any hardships anybody goes through by any means. But I'm saying don't let that change who you are or define who you are. Okay? You just concentrate on love. First, love of yourself. Love yourself enough to better yourself. And then everything else will fall into place. And then eventually you'll be able to love life. I'm talking about fully love life. Not just go through life on autopilot. Because a lot of us, we do that. Okay, so, and the final card is, what you do can, just take a moment. What you do today can improve all of your tomorrows. That is beautiful, and that sums up this whole reading. Let me cover up those 2 negative cards there. We don't need to see that anymore. What you do today can improve all of your tomorrows. Take that first step towards help, towards loving yourself. Take the first step towards healing and mending the broken heart, the damage that someone else did. Maybe the person who took advantage of you or who hurt you, you feel like obviously they didn't love you enough to care for you. Well, you have to love you enough. So today is the first day. This reading is the first day. This is your sign from the people, the team who love you from the other side. They are letting you know. They are yelling and screaming to you, telling you, you are worthy. You are worthy. And this is you. You will have it all. Just take the first step. Don't get paralyzed by fear. And don't let someone define you. You define you. You tell people who you are, not the other way around. You will make it, and you will be a strong voice in this world because you will teach others based on your hardship. So, group number 2. I want you to know that this reading was a very meaningful one for me, a very deep one, and I pray that all goes well for you. I do pray that you take heed to the fact that you are worthy, you are worth it, you're worth the time, you're worth the effort, you're worth the energy, and you need to love you first. Love you enough to create a better reality for yourself. All right? So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I do sincerely hope that something I said resonated with you today and that you can walk away with some kind of awakening and feeling a little lighter than you did before you tuned in. Okay? All the best to you. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with me again. For those of you who chose pile number 3, this is your group. You chose the star card. And this is just a message from Spirit to encourage you during hard times. I know a lot of us are going through some rocky times because of all this stuff that's going on in the world nowadays, but Spirit wanted me to channel this message and bring some comfort to you and some encouragement. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say, okay? The first card we have is the Justice card. Beautiful. Second card is the Five of Cups. And the third card is the Magician. Okay. So where do we start? We'll start with the Five of Cups. Okay, so the Five of Cups is very telling. You know, a lot of us get stuck in this type of situation where we're very caught up looking at what we could have had, what we should have had, and all the opportunities that have passed us by, to realize that, hey, there's something there. We still have hope. We can make something out of nothing, or what we consider nothing. We do have something there. So we need to look more intensely at the concept of gratitude and understand that we need to be grateful. We need to be grateful not when we get what we want, but we need to be grateful with what we have now. We need to be grateful for the things we have now and the things we don't have now. Because the things we don't have now are probably not meant for us right now, or we can't handle them right now. We're not ready for them right now. So that also brings us back to the Star card. Okay? Yes, hoping for something and looking towards something, you know, in the sky, like how she's looking to something with great hope, is a wonderful thing. And she's looking at that star, wishing maybe she could get a hold of it. But unbeknownst to her, maybe she has a whole bunch of stars that are in her reach right behind her. But she's so busy focusing on that star that it seems like it's out of reach. Maybe she could get upset about that. Maybe she'll get frustrated. Maybe she'll feel discouraged, you know, because she knows she'll never reach that star. But what's behind her, if she just looks around and lowers her eyes a bit, she will see maybe that there's stuff around her that's even better than that star. So I think that's what's going on here with group number 3, is that you've been feeling like things are not what you wanted them to be in your life. Maybe your life has not turned out the way you had hoped. Maybe you feel like you've missed out on a lot of opportunities, and it's because of your misdeeds, or because of your procrastination, or because of your fear or lack of self-confidence. At the end of the day, what's happening here from group 3 is, what I feel like, is not that somebody has come and hurt you, or someone has caused you to feel like this person in the Five of Cups here. I feel like you are the reason that these things have happened to you. And what the spirit world is trying to let you know is that you decide what happens to you. Now, this number 1, the Magician, is a manifester. He manifests when things get tough and things get hard and he doesn't know, you know, like he meets with certain obstacles. He has all the tools here on the table to make his reality what he wants it to be. Okay, and he does that when hardship arises. If something comes this way to him, he knows how to counteract it. He has all the tools in his arsenal to deal with it. All right, so let's go to the oracle cards and see what else we can learn about this situation. The first card says, abundance is your right. So just as we see like with justice, the justice card, and we see with the magician, you deserve to be happy. So, you know, even though maybe you messed up a situation or you were the cause of a situation not going well for you, it doesn't mean that you have to live with that burden for the rest of your life. You can come to terms with it. You can make peace with it. You can apologize for it. You can try and rectify it. But at the end of the day, you deserve to live an abundant, wonderful life. As we see here, like I said, manifestation. When I see the number 11, which is the justice card, number 11, I think of manifestation. When I see the number 5, I think of change. So now we have the magician. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that message? Are you going to change your reality by understanding that, okay, when you know better, you do better? So maybe, you've messed up in the past or something. You've squandered maybe a good relationship. Maybe you've let go of a good person. You've passed up certain opportunities to better yourself. For some reason, I think of somebody who, like, let's say, is working with stocks or something in the financial industry, and you let a lot of opportunities go by. So, you're looking at that and you're thinking, man, I could have been a lot further ahead than I am today. Okay, fine. That may be the case, but what are you going to do with that? Well, the Magician card and the Justice card are telling you that you can make this right, but the only way it's going to be made right is through your actions. You are the only one who can make this right. And once you do, then you will live more of an abundant life. Okay, so that's what I think of, like, with this star card here. She's like trying to catch the star, but it looks like she's trying to catch the star, but it also could look like she has the star on a leash. So when she's ready, she can pull it in and it will be hers, right? So that's the same thing with you. When you're ready to make your life an abundant one, you can. All you have to do is just fix your situation, and maybe you don't know how at this point. Maybe you're living with some regret. Well, that's something you need to work through, right? That's something you need to go within, and you need to figure out what works for you to make your situation better. All right. Let's see. So this next oracle card we have here says, Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Thank you. We just said that. So life lessons, like we said, when you know better, you do better. They said soul growth. So this is happening for your betterment. Like I said, you need to give thanks for the things that you have as well as the things that you don't have. Gratitude is everything. Perspective is everything. If you are, look at it like, okay, I lost out on a lot of things, and then you think, okay, but what has that lesson taught me? What did I learn from losing those things? Am I going to just say, okay, I screwed up, I'm an idiot, and I'll always be an idiot? No. You look at that situation and you say, okay, I screwed up. Yeah, I feel like an idiot. Okay, but what now? Then you look around you. You take in what's going on around you, what you've learned, how you've grown from that. Like they said, soul growth, Earth School. Take all of these opportunities as learning lessons so that now that you know better, you will do better. You won't mistreat anybody anymore. You won't just, look at what you wish you had instead of savoring what you do have. Okay, so next oracle card is Pleiades, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. Wow. All right, so it seems to me that you could be a great manifester, as we see with the Magician card here. I wonder if a lot of you can be spiritually inclined. Uplifting humanity and Earth School, I feel like you could also become some kind of teacher as well. We had that in the last group as well. You can teach people, same thing what we had in the last group, you can teach people how to better themselves, and take your life lessons to help somebody elevate and level up. That's pretty cool. All right, next oracle card is, we must be conscious and responsible for our beliefs and behaviors if we are ever to be free. Wow. Okay, we just were saying that. Like, if you feel like this 5 of cup energy here, if you feel like you were the cause of a lot of your disappointments and a lot of your failures and a lot of the obstacles that are in your life now, you are feeling like I was saying, you feel like you could be the cause of those things, like you screwed up some things, you missed certain opportunities, you feel like maybe you were the cause of those things, that's fine, but you need to own it, and then you can release it. And that's what they're saying in this oracle card here. Be conscious and responsible for your behaviors. That's how you're going to live your abundant lifestyle. That's how you're going to be set free. If you see the people in these oracle cards here, they're flying high. There's nothing that's holding them down. right? There's nothing that's binding them. They are floating. They are abundant. That's what you, like, almost, that's what one thinks of when they think of an abundant person, that there's no limitation, that they're living a life of freedom. And the freedom will only come when you take ownership for some of the things that you've done to cause you to be in the situation you're in, right? So it's like the law of attraction, that type of stuff. Is like you call certain things to you because of your mindset or your actions. So when you come to terms with that, fix it, and make peace with it, then you'll be able to have like actual freedom, genuine freedom. All right. This card says, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. Wow, look at that. Guys, you know I don't look at these oracle cards before I do the readings. I just choose whatever falls out of the deck when I shuffle. I meditate on my cards and I sage them while I'm shuffling. And as we see here, we have teacher in this card and teacher, school in this card. And I just finished saying you could become a teacher to teach people how to better themselves like you did, how to appreciate what they have, and become some type of guru, some kind of spiritual teacher is what I mean. So witness the darkness and call on the light with your prayer. So I feel like that's just you they're saying that you've gone through it. Like you've been through it. You've been through the ringer. You've made some crazy decisions sometimes that didn't really benefit you, that actually kind of hurt you sometimes. You've been up and down. You didn't appreciate what you had. So that's basically the darkness. Now you're ready for the light. So you just got to own it, make peace with it, and move on. And it seems like you'll be able to teach other people to do the same. Because once you do that, now this is when you'll be able to live a life of freedom and abundance, and teach other people to do the same. Wow, because we even have in this card here, higher learning. So either you're going to go to school to do something that will help other people in their life mission or their purpose or their calling. You're going to do something that's going to help you help other people to live a more just life, a more full life. Maybe that's your purpose. Maybe you have to go through these things to be able to help other people. All right. That scared me. This card is exactly what I was just saying. So lead by example. Okay, so you will lead. You will lead, and you are going to be the example through which you lead other people. Absolutely. So don't feel like your mistakes are mistakes that you have to live with for the rest of your life. See it as a learning example, and see it as something you had to go through for your betterment. And not only your betterment, but it says the channeling and uplifting humanity. So it's the betterment of humanity. What's going on here is not any small fry business here. Like, this is serious stuff here. Okay, I'm thinking star seeds. I'm thinking that type of stuff. I'm thinking of like the Arcturian Council. Like, I'm thinking of ascended masters, that type of stuff. And sometimes the people who become the most elevated and who are the most spiritually inclined are the ones who have gone through some of the worst hardships out there. So I think this group is super powerful. I'm feeling very charged and I'm feeling wonderful for you. I feel like the only thing that's messing with you is your perspective and maybe feeling shame or regret for some of the things that you've done in your past or the decisions you've made. But don't be fooled. You're here for a reason. Don't be misled by, others, what they have to say, or maybe you feeling like you should be in a certain spot in your life at this point in time. Don't get caught up in that. Don't fall for the okie doke. You are here for a purpose. You have a reason, and you teaching other people and leading by example and making your story making your story an example to other people who are hurting as well. This is your life calling. Wow. Okay. All right. So the last two oracle cards we have says here, let yourself be silently drawn by the stronger pull of what you really love. All right, so instead of looking at what you lost there, look behind you, what you still have. And you know what that reminds me of, actually, if I can just jump in there and put this little part in here. This reminds me of somebody who was in a relationship, let's say, and the relationship didn't work for whatever reason. And they always had a confidant. They always had somebody, this one bestie that they could go to and talk to about how they were feeling, what was going on in the relationship, how unhappy they were. And that person was always there to give them a friendly ear, a shoulder to cry on, was there when they would vent. And the whole time, this person is busy looking at this person who they broke up with, who was not meant for them, but really the person who was meant for them, the person who they're supposed to be with, is that confidant, that same one who has their back unconditionally. But they just don't see it, because all they need to do is just turn around and look and see who's staring at them right in their face. Look and see who's been there for them. Okay, and the last card we have here says, I nurture my inner child. Let's look on the back. It says, loving your inner child helps you remember your innocence and recognize how much life loves you. Ask the child within, what can I do for you today? Okay, that's beautiful. Ask the inner child within, what can I do for you today? How are you going to make peace with the things that you've done in your past that you're not very proud of? How are you going to rectify this situation so you can move on and move up and move onward? How are you going to do that? And probably what the card is telling you, the best way to do that is to look back to a more simpler time in your life where you were more self-assured and more self-confident. You didn't question every decision you want to make like maybe you do now, because you're scared that you're going to make the wrong decision and feel regret like you're feeling now. What you need to do is just live abundantly, live a more free-spirited life, and trust your decisions. Like, you are a master manifester here. So trust that the decisions you make are for your betterment. Even if it doesn't seem like a success to begin with, you have to understand, you keep reminding yourself that it is for good reason, for a good cause. It is for your learning and for your soul growth, like it says here in the card. Treat what's going on with you as a life lesson, something you've learned from. So with that being said, group number 3, I first want to thank you for tuning in with me and sticking around with me for this long. You made it to the end of the video. I tend to go on, but like I say often, the cards are so loaded with information and messages that I don't want to squander my time with you. So I hope something I said made sense. I hope you keep some stuff in your head and in your heart that you can pull out later on when the time is right. I just want to say thank you again for tuning in with me. I pray that all goes well for you. Until we see each other again. Bye, guys.